Hello, it's the Friday Talkie. So, today, what am I going to talk about? I do get asked by people about setting up their own channel. I get asked for advice. I kind of just want to talk about my thoughts on the subject of running a YouTube channel, what works, what doesn't. It's not so much me saying this is what you must do to have a successful channel. It's more my observations on what's worked for me and what I see when I'm observing other channels. And it is entirely my own perspective, and it will be different for each person, so this is by no means definitive. The usual question that gets asked of me and of numerous people will have heard the question, I want to start a channel, what should I put on it? I'm looking at this from the gaming or retro gaming community perspective. Things that you can put on a channel, there are lots. Well, gameplay is an easy option, always. First of all, you're not in front of the camera, because that can be quite nerve-wracking. And there are different ways you can do this. I mean, you can do what I do, which I think is an incredibly easy thing to do. I just point the camera at the screen, play the game, and talk. It's uncomplicated. Production values are questionable. And actually speaking while playing a game is bloody hard. But you could also play the game and talk and not use the camera. You could use a capture device. You'd get better image quality, and then record your audio at the same time, say into a laptop that's next to you or something, and then edit it in later, so it would look and sound like what I do, but with better quality. I don't do that because I am lazy, and that is the only reason. Then of course you can do gameplay videos with no voiceover. There are lots and lots of channels out there where it's just pure gameplay, and there is a lot to be said for that kind of thing. There are lots of people out there who just want to see the game. They don't care what you've got to say about it. They don't care about you at all. And there's the thing, are you interested in being on YouTube? Do you want people to know who you are? Because if all you're doing is gameplay, they're never going to know who you are. If you don't care about that, then just pure gameplay is always a good thing. Let's plays or long plays, they're very popular. Playing a game from start to finish, with or without voiceover, totally not suited to someone like me. But if you're a talented gamer, that kind of thing is always popular. Yeah, game reviewing with a script. So you play the game, you edit it all together, and then you review it and you do your voiceover later. This is popular, and some channels do it extremely well. I mean, you look at Classic Game Room. In my opinion, he does that. He's the best at it. He's just that damn good. But it is really, really hard to sound spontaneous if you've scripted what you've got to say. Doing reviews of games, but without actually having gameplay on the screen, without showing the game, but just talking about it, can be very, very popular. And it's quite essential, I think, if you're going for a partnership. You can't, I don't know how some channels have got away with it, but largely as far as partnership goes, gameplay footage on screen is a no-no, and they won't allow it. So if you want to review games and go for a partnership, you basically got to just talk about the game. A lot of people do it. Some people are incredibly successful doing it. Pickups and unboxings, these are really popular. I don't actually understand why. I'm absolutely not knocking anyone who does it, because I know they're popular. And this is what I talk about when I say it's not me ever telling anyone what to do, because my perceptions are different from a lot of people's. What I think is good, a lot of people don't. What a lot of people think, what they enjoy, I don't. So but pickups and unboxings are incredibly popular, and they're always something you could consider on your channel. Hardware reviews and histories of systems, computers, consoles, whatever, they're popular. They're really good to watch. I'll tell you what though, they're damned hard work to make. It takes an awful lot more effort because you've got to do the research. If you say something that's wrong, people will pull you up on it. So it does require research. Tag videos are popular, and they are a good way of raising your profile. I would say it is possible to go overboard with this. If someone is doing tag video after tag video after tag video, they can be perceived as trying to gain popularity off the back of others without actually contributing anything original themselves. Maybe not everyone thinks of it that way. That is one way that they could be perceived. So yeah, I think tags are good, but it is possible to do too many. General discussions are always good. You know, pick a topic, something you want to explore, rather than just spouting an opinion. A topic to explore and puzzle over and mull over and then have discussions with is it can be a really interesting watch if you've got a perspective on it and a point of view, and maybe something you're not actually absolutely certain about, and exploring a subject like that. Very interesting. Probably not something to do every single time, but maybe there again, I think, no, maybe you could base a whole channel on just that kind of thing. You do have to have a subject to discuss, though. Just sort of doing a video and saying, so, what do you think about games then? That probably wouldn't be great. At the end of the day, whatever you do, it's got to be something you enjoy. If you're doing something that doesn't interest you, the audience will know. And if you're not interested, why will they be interested? And as well, related, remember, it is your channel. You do whatever the hell you want with it, and don't let anyone, and especially me, tell you what to do with it. It is okay to receive advice. I get a lot of advice or suggestions, shall we say, and I take note of them and largely ignore them. And that's not because I'm mean. But I take the view that if I'm going to do something and it's going to be successful and does well, I want to feel good about it because that was my idea. Okay, on what makes channels successful and how do you interpret success anyway? Some people will look at a lot of subscribers and say, yeah, that's a successful channel. But it's not as simple as that. It's not all about subscribers. And here's the thing. Subscribers doesn't always equate to views. I don't get as many views on each video as some people who've got significantly fewer subscribers than me. And this did puzzle me for a long time. But I realised in the end why that was happening. And it's that I have got a very wide range of things that I do. There is the Friday Talkie, there are the system reviews, there is that big collection video that draws a lot of people in. Gaming videos, but not just gaming videos on a wide variety of systems. And there's the thing. I may get a subscriber who has subscribed because they saw a system review and thought that's really cool and they've done a few more, I'll subscribe. And then I do a whole lot of gaming videos and they're not interested in that. Or they subscribe because they liked the Dragon 32 videos and I did a whole series of those, but they're not interested in PlayStation 1 games or Amiga or whatever I'm doing at the time. So yeah, there are masses of subscribers who aren't necessarily interested in what I'm doing at a given time, because what I'm doing is completely different. And that's the thing. Having a wide variety of subjects that you cover will get a very wide ranging audience, but it affects how many views you get. If you want as many views as you've got subscribers, you've got to be really, really tightly focused, like just do one thing, maybe one system, something like that. No variation. I think that would be quite boring, to be honest, but that's me. I think it would be boring to do, I should say. Not necessarily boring to watch. If they're doing what you like, it will be great. But boring to do. Shoutouts. Now, shoutouts can help a channel a great deal. But they are not the be-all and end-all. And something Trouble8385 said recently sort of brought this home to me. He got a shout-out from Pete Dorr. And while it certainly brought him a good few subscribers, it didn't set his channel on fire. It didn't suddenly explode with thousands upon thousands. When Pete Dorr has a massively, how many tens of thousands is he at now? I don't know. Where conversely, Ashams gave Gaming Mill a shout out and he got about 3,000 subs overnight. And I puzzled about this for a while, and I think I get what's going on there. And it's not because Trouble8385 doesn't have a good and interesting channel. He does. He has a fantastic channel. It's that what he is doing is different from what Pete Dorr's audience are on his channel for. He talks about games, his games in his collection, the things he's collected, where Trouble 8385 is talking about the community. And so those people who went from Pete Dawes and saw what Trouble 8385 was doing found something completely different and were like, yeah, that's not my thing. Some, obviously, it was because he got subscribers. Ashen's audience, now he's kind of a very, very quirky, original, funny guy, and so is Gaming Mill. And so getting the shout out from Ashen's for Gaming Mill worked. Similar audience, I guess. So that's the thing, shout outs, unless the person doing the shout outs has a similar audience to the person they're shouting out, they can be of limited value. Not saying they are, certainly not saying shout outs aren't worth doing. I think they absolutely are. The more coverage people give other people, the better, really. It's good for the community. Just, they're not the be all and end all. Okay, in having a successful channel, what works, what people like. Production values. Now, they matter. Image quality, audio quality matter, but they're not everything. I think audio probably matters more than video. Editing, yeah, it helps. It's nice to have a slick channel. There are some incredibly slick channels out there. Chipster comes to mind. Fantastic editing, and he's very popular, and his editing helps. You know, that will be a factor, though by no means the whole story, because he just has a great channel. But again, it is not the be-all and end-all, and the channel that comes to mind just to prove that point is Luke Morse 1. His production, you know, he's got, his sound is fine, his video quality is fine, he doesn't do the fancy editing, and he doesn't need to, and there's the thing. He is hugely popular for two very good reasons. Personality. He has got that winning personality. You watch Luke when he's getting enthusiastic about something and you cannot help but smile. I think personality is the single most important thing in having a successful channel. I wish I could be that chirpy. I rely on dry wit and not everyone gets it. So I will always have a slightly more limited audience. Also, a unique knowledge of a subject really, really helps. If you could be considered an expert, or at least very knowledgeable, it goes a long way. Anyone who's interested in that subject will want to know what you've got to say. The ability to talk, that I think really, really matters. Personality, absolutely, and maybe this is directly connected with personality. You've got to be able to talk. Doesn't matter what you look like, really. Being gorgeously handsome or beautiful would be cool. I'm kind of screwed there. But if you can talk, that is the main thing. And editing helps. You will notice I am jumping around all over the place, stuttering, and that is partly just because I'm trying to cut it all down and make it fit into the 15 minutes. It's also partly because I go and you know a lot, and I repeat myself, and I pause, and I cut all of that out, and it makes for a more interesting view. I wish I could just sit here and go blah 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 from start to finish without ever pausing or going but I can't. I'm not that good. It is easier to talk while playing a game than it is to sit in front of a camera. That is absolutely true. But sitting here doing this is, I find it easy now, or easier, but for some people it's very intimidating. So yeah, some people say, I can't sit in front of the camera and talk, I don't know how you do it. Practice. Remember, you don't have to upload. You don't even have to turn the camera on, but get used to looking at it. Sit here or there, or whatever, and talk, go blah 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 about your given subject, and you don't have to upload a thing until you're ready. You might after a while find it gets easier, and you record something, yeah, that's actually not bad, then upload it. No one has to see you feeling uncomfortable. Moving on slightly, something that gets said to me is, I want as many subs as you. I've had it said to me, I've seen it said to other people. There is only one way you're guaranteed to get lots and lots and lots of subscribers and viewers, and that is put in the effort. It's taken me 3 years to get 3,500 subs. I mean, that's a while. It is absolutely never instant. Time and effort, you know, 3 years, 700 and something videos. It is not instant, and that's really what it's all about.